Hey, Happy New Year and welcome back to the Jameela Adams Experience. I'm your host, Jameela Adams. I'm so thrilled to kick off 2025 with you. This year, our theme is Finding Your Voice, a celebration of stepping into your power, owning your story, and navigating the entrepreneurial journey with authenticity and purpose. See, when I started the podcast, the whole point was to be an extension of my business, Jameela Adams at your service, to spotlight others who are in the same space or in a different industry as me. So that was the whole point, was to expand my reach. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't. But I'm so grateful and blessed to be able to do it. So we're going to be talking about setting intentions and how to create better habits. I'm saying this because I am working on it myself, and I wanted to share this with you so that way we can partner, build community, and do the same. So grab your favorite drink, be it soda, wine, no judgment, bourbon, really no judgment, and settle in as we dive into our first episode of the year. Yay! So we're going to talk about intentions. Let's go with the basics. What are intentions? And what do they mean for us? Simply put, intentions are purposeful declarations of what you aim to do or be or feel. They're not about ticking off, boxes or hitting hard and fast goals. Instead, they're about aligning your actions with your values and the kind of life you want to create. This year and from here on out, I'm definitely going to be focusing on the entrepreneurial spirit and journey for women. Yes, men, you are involved too. I'm not leaving you out, but I'm trying to focus on what it's like as a girl. Okay, I said it. So for us women entrepreneurs, this is powerful stuff. Intentions keep us grounded. They act as a compass, helping us navigate the challenges of running a business, balancing family life, because heaven knows we're going through it right now, and pursuing personal growth. I can honestly say personal growth for me is ever changing, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow, evolve, and learn more about ourselves, and hopefully be a better version for those who see us, and be a better example on what to do or what not to do. So that is my goal. That's always, I guess, the mom in me has always wanted to be a better example, not only for myself, but also, for my children, family, friends, whatever. So it's more or less setting intentions is just having that compass to do the right thing. And it's okay to mess up, because we're to show ourselves grace as we're supposed to show others grace. But that's later on. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, unlike traditional resolutions, which can feel rigid or limiting, intentions create room for evaluation and grace. Like I said, we have to give ourselves grace, because we mess up. We stumble, we fall, we're human. And my friends and I, we do our devotionals, we share devotionals. And so the one devotional we're working on is called Habits. It's through the Bible app. I will leave the resources in the show notes. But anyway, it's talking about how to set up a healthy identity. So once you figure out what is your healthy identity, you can obviously change habits. And then, of course, you set intentions so you can be able to continue on the right path. That is the goal. Is it a lofty goal? It can be. But the goal, no pun intended, is to do right by yourself, and do right by others, and to have a life that is fulfilled and have satisfaction in what you do. As an entrepreneur, we really have no one else to answer to. I mean, if you're a believer, you know who you answer to. But the whole goal is, we set our own schedule. We make our own time. We make our own deadlines. However, we have to keep our commitments, and we have to hold ourselves accountable. And that's the whole point of having intentions. So let's pause, breathe it in, have a sip of whatever you're drinking. What kind of entrepreneur do you want to be this year? I had to ask myself this, and trust me, the answer was not what I expected, but I did have to ask myself this. Are you going to be a visionary, compassionate, resilient? And you really have to think about it. I'm one of those people. I used to be a people pleaser. I guess in some ways I still am to a certain extent. No, I'm not. I take that back. No, I'm not. I see myself as compassionate because I see that there is a need. I try to fill it. The problem is you can't keep plugging in holes because there's always going to be a hole to fill. And you just got to figure out what hole is meant for you and to fill it. So I'm compassionate. I try to be of service to everyone. And I have to realize I can't help everybody because there's certain things I don't have. I won't say the skills. I do have the skills, but I'm not equipped for it. And I'm learning to par back on certain things. Reason being is because it's taking away time for things I should be focusing on more. And the last 3 months was like a gut check for me. Thank you, Amber. You know who you are. Anyway, you'll see her on Instagram and on Facebook, Amber Patchlock. Anyway, love her. Awesome. Anyway, I had to do that for myself because there are certain things that were just getting out of control and I'm not making the progress that I thought I should have been making. And that's kind of disheartening. And I almost wanted to give up. But I'm like, no, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep going forward because this is what you are meant to do. You're meant to serve. You're supposed to share your talents and your gifts with others. But like, what am I doing? How am I going to get through this? Anyway, so you have to realize what is your style? What is your intention? And go from there. So the power of intentions. Now you might be wondering, how can intentions shape my journey? Let me share with you a little story. Last year, I decided to set an intention. Actually, no, I take that back. It wasn't last year. I mean, I was thinking about it, but more so, it really kicked in the last 6 months because I found myself sounding robotic. And granted, yes, people saw my post, they saw my social media, whatever, but I didn't feel like it was me. I was just doing it because the gurus were saying, you should post this, you should talk about this, and so on. And I was doing it, but I didn't feel like me. So what did I end up doing? I crashed out. Like the kids say, God, I sound like one of the little people now. What I'm saying is that I ended up deleting over 100 posts on Instagram. I shut down my Pinterest account. I will eventually bring it back up again, but I had to just shut it down because it just wasn't satisfying and it just seemed a little fake. So I got rid of it. So I found myself wondering, who am I? I lost myself. I have no idea what I'm doing because I'm trying to be somebody else and I'm not that person. I'm not that girl. I'm not that chick. That wasn't me. So I had to sit down and say, Jay, you got to figure out who you are and go from there. So I wanted to show up as my authentic self. I'm pretty laid back. I'm goofy as fuck. But yeah, I'm professional, but I want to be unapologetically me. And guess what? I had an aha moment. Everything just fell into place. And so that's what I'm working on now, is showing up as me. When I go to networking events, I'm not going to be stiff. I'm going to be me. I find myself laughing and joking with people because that's how I disarm people. I do tend to have introverted tendencies because I want to watch the room before I talk to somebody. I'm all over the place. I know this because that's me. That's just how my mind works. I'm ambidextrous as well. Anyway, the whole point is I had to learn who I was, am, whatever you want to call it. And everything opened up for me. God, thank you for that, for showing me who I am and who I was meant to be. I'm still working on it, but I'm so grateful for it. As the shift began, I noticed that people started talking to me on a different level, and it was on a deeper level because we made a connection. And what I mean by that is I showed me, flaws and all. I'm still professional. Don't get it twisted. I can cuss you out sideways without saying a curse word. But it's me. I'm gone back to me, and this is the way it should be. I shouldn't have to feel like I had to squeeze myself into a prepackaged version of a business owner, what that was supposed to be, because I ain't it. I'm not her, and that's okay. So the takeaway is this: setting intentions doesn't just guide your actions, it transforms your mindset and the energy you bring into the world. I hope that when you sit down and do whatever you got to do to get your day started, that you see yourself as someone who is successful. Your version of success, my meaning of version of success, are two totally different things. But whatever your vision of success is, I hope you get it. I hope you find it. And I want you to remember these things. They're very practical, but can be a little heavy at times. But trust me, they'll resonate with you, because you got to figure out which one best suits you. So here are some simple steps to setting meaningful intentions. Number 1, reflect on your values. What matters most to you right now, at this moment? Right now, what matters the most to you? Maybe it's growth, maybe it's balance, creativity, or community. Let your values guide your intentions. Number 2, visualize your best self. Close your eyes and picture the entrepreneur you want to be by December 2025. What's her energy? What's his energy? How do you show up in the world? Write it down, journal it, put it in your phone or whatever, or come back to it and just see how you've changed or grown or whatnot. How was there a personality shift? What made you say, aha, this is who I was meant to be? And finally, number 3, keep it simple and keep it positive. Intentions should not feel overpowering. They should be empowering. They shouldn't be overwhelming. Instead of saying, I want to stop procrastinating, because Lord knows I've probably said that a few times, try instead, I intend to approach my work with focus and joy. And if you're a believer, God help me to do this. So, I want you to take action. I want you to do something for yourself that will eventually do something for somebody else. Take a moment this week and write down 1 or 2 intentions for the year ahead. Share them with me on socials. I would love to hear from you. Please let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're thinking, and we can hook up on Instagram, because that's where I'm at. You can find me at the Jameela Adams Experience, because I want to hear from you. I can't do this without you. I want our 2025 to be prosperous, productive, joyful, and even if we are having hard times, I want us to be able to lift each other up, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to lift each other up. We're supposed to have community. So that is my challenge to you. Write down your intentions, at least 1 or 2. So next week, we're going into finding your voice. So I'm going to be focusing on episodes that are meant to get us to find our voice, so that way we can flip the script, change the narrative. Because right now, 2025, I'm not going to say it's a dumpster fire. I'm not going to go in it like that. I promise you, I'm not going to go into it like that. But I want us to do better for ourselves and for our business. So just remember, as entrepreneurs, or even those who work in the 9 to 5 or 8 to 3, whatever you do, you represent you. Above all, you may represent your company, but you remember, you represent you. So thank you for starting 2025 with me. I appreciate you. And remember, be inspired, be inspiring, be encouraged, be encouraging, but most of all, be you. And I will check you out next week.